Okay, so your lesson is going to be over line buildings. You're going to use all your line skills. You can use some shapes, but what I wanted to show you was this neat magnet I got in Charleston. Okay, I wonder if you can see this very well. Yeah, you can see that pretty well. Okay, I can take that off. I want you to look at the simple detail that's in these buildings, but they look really cool. I love the shininess of it. Okay, I have given you a sheet that you can use for ideas, and I'm going to use some ideas of my own. Set that to the side so I can still see it. Your first job though, you need to set up your paper. You always want to make sure that you have a good placement. I like to set up a grid for this, so I'm just going to use my ruler. Just run it along this edge of the paper, so there's no measuring involved. I'm using a highlighter just so you can see it on the video. I need to turn it this way. Okay, now you can choose if you want your building the long way or if you want it tall. I think I'm going to make it tall. I better pull it up so you can see a little bit. Okay, I'm using a gray marker so that you can see what it looks like. You will be using a pencil. Now, I'm going to try to draw this one, but I'm going to have something neat, and I'll probably something neat like an awning or a sign, and I'm going to have the front door in the middle. I'll just leave that to the side. I love the top of this. You see how it's curved? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find where I think the center is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So half of 7 would be 3.5. So 1, 2, 3 and a half. Put a mark up there. Now I want to go here and here rounded. Do you see how I'm using my guidelines? That's how I placed everything so it looks good when I get done. I want to use as much paper as I can. That's a good arch. Okay, now this goes, this goes over and it curves to the side. However, I want to do my side pieces first. I want to put my side pieces as close as I can to the edge. So right now, I'm just going to use rectangles. Split it down there. I stopped at this line. Now I want to go over, down, curve. Over, down, curve. Okay, and at the bottom, a straight line. So this is what is called a facade. This is the front of a building. Now what I want to do is I want to make everything symmetrical. That means same on both sides. This is not same on both sides. See how there's a space over here and these windows are offset, that means they're to one side. I'm gonna make mine very symmetrical, meaning same on both sides. So, you know what, I'm gonna do this with a highlighter right here. Since this is my middle, line, I'm going to dash where my center is so that you can tell where I am at. Okay, so there's my center line. Okay, I want to break this up. I want a hard line, let's say, right about here. One. Okay, I want to do that again. I'm going to use two boxes because 1, 2, 1, 2, and there's a hard line. Okay, I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. I told you this is going to be a storefront and I want it fancy. Okay, I want it to look a lot like that shape up there, but tighter. You know how you go into stores and they have that looks similar to an umbrella out front so you don't get rained on? That's kind of what I'm putting here. I'm going to make this smaller. So here's my center, kind of looks like a triangle right here if I do this. Curve, curve, straight. Okay, that's a half circle. I want my door right in between there. So this is just a good placement for a door. The door is not done. Now I want windows because this is going to be a business. Now they're not going to go all the way to the ground. They're going to go up part way. Same thing with the top of the windows. And now I need to finish each side. So 1, 2. Maybe this should be a bakery or a clothing store. I don't know, something cute. Okay, now moving on to this area right here, I want to make, let's say, I think I'm just going to do 2 windows. So I'm going to follow these grid lines, but I'm not going to touch this divider. Do you see how I skipped? I went skip, window, skip, window, skip. That way it stays very symmetrical. Now I could do the exact same thing up here, but I want this to be a really fancy building. So I'm gonna make curved windows. I think I'm gonna make a window in the middle, but I'm going to curve the top because we have a curve here and we have a curve here, we might as well make another one. Okay, so this window is going to be in the center. And it's going to go all the way up there, so I have enough room. And I'm going to arch it. There's a curve. Now, I'm gonna make 2 littler windows in here. I don't want it to touch the front of that, okay? The front of that facade. It just wouldn't make any sense structurally. So let's make it shorter. Skinnier here. Okay, I think that's pretty good for all of the big detail. Now you're probably wondering, how is this symmetrical? This doesn't look like this, doesn't look like this. But if I folded right here along this line, it would be very symmetrical. Okay, kind of like butterfly wings. Let's see if I can do this. You don't have to do this, we're just checking. Oops. Hold it very well. There we go. Here's one side. Here's the other. Very symmetrical.